So Ryan, as you know, we're working on the new building projects, and one of our priorities with those projects is firefighter health and safety.
Sure.
And so we've really been looking at the Healthy In, Healthy Out program and trying to follow that. A couple years back, when Bob Hamill and Carl Murray had cancer, there was a lot of discussion about saunas and detoxifying with saunas. So the committee thought that that would be a good route for firefighters to use for detoxification. As we were working through that process, we found a company that builds saunas just for firefighters, but all the research they had was just from that company. And so we started working with both Dr. Whitwer, Mark Muir, and Chief Kohlmeyer from the city of Vancouver to come up with a detox protocol for firefighters. And as we moved into that research, we started to find that there's not a lot of science and data behind
Sure.
Detoxification for firefighters for cancer prevention with the sauna use. So we started to question what we were doing, and one of the departments that's installed saunas is Indianapolis Fire, and they've installed the same model we were looking at. They have quite a few firefighters with cancer. So when I called Indianapolis, they didn't recommend installing saunas and said that actually the IAFF has officially come out against the use of saunas for detoxification. And I was going to see if you could help me see the IAFF's perspective on
Yeah,
saunas.
absolutely, Chief Maurer. The IFF has put out a white paper on the sauna use, and they have gone through and identified the mechanisms that we can absorb cancer-causing topics. They've identified some different studies that they've used nationwide, and they're like you said, have identified that there's few statistical studies out there that actually show that sauna use is preventing those exposures.
Yeah. And is that information that we've shared with the body, the local 1805?
Yes, during our last general membership meeting, I talked about the white paper and and spoke to them for just a couple of minutes about the information that we were gathering and some of the questions that you were investigating. So.
Yeah. So knowing that some of the stuff that's in the white paper states that it could actually cause more harm to our personnel than benefit, and what would be the locals' direction on how to move forward with saunas in the stations?
Well, at this point, I would say that we put the idea of saunas on hold. I mean, if we don't have statistical information that supports the idea, then there's really no reason for us to do it. The ideas of sauna use have been around forever, but the use with firefighters, like we're discussing, the data doesn't prove it. So until we can get more information on it, I think it's a good idea that we kind of pause it and look for more recommendations.
Yeah. Well, one really good thing is talking to Mackenzie. We're at a point in our building project where it's not a big deal to pull them out, and actually we didn't have Station 62 slated for a PPE washer. And going back to the Healthy In, Healthy Out and to the IFF white paper, it seems like where they're focusing more is on prevention to begin with,
Sure.
rather than to get it out. So I think moving forward and putting the saunas on hold, there are other alternatives that we could look into for cancer prevention in firefighters.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd always recommend to all of our crews that anytime that we're in an IDLH atmosphere, that we're wearing our self-contained breathing apparatus, whether that means that we're actively fighting fire or in the overhaul phase.
Yeah.
Making sure that when we come out that we're going through the proper decon procedures that have been outlined in our SOGs and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
very important stuff.
So I think if we were to sum it all up, we could say that we're probably both comfortable with putting the sauna portion on hold and focusing on other things to help with the health and safety of firefighters and especially cancer prevention.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Good. Well, thanks for taking time to talk to me today.
Yeah, thanks for having me out here.
Yeah.
All right.
And thank you for having me.